friends. Oh, I'm so excited to see all your faces. Miss Emily here. Welcome to Eatonton Street's Plan B Virtual Summer Camp. Yay! Today we are talking about being brave. And oh my goodness, what a perfect topic for me today. Y'all, you don't even know. So we have a neighbor who is a little bit younger than Patrick and Wells and Lilia. And they're learning how to ride a bike. And we have old bikes of the kids that we haven't been able to give away yet in our crawl space. The crawl space is that dark spot under your house. It's a little bit scary. So I have been trying to get up the courage and the bravery to go into the crawl space, which is right around the corner down there, going into the crawl space to go get a bike to give to our neighbor so they can learn to ride a bike, which is such a fun thing to do, especially when you're at home a lot and can ride around on the safe streets nearby. So, like I said, crawl spaces, they're dark, they're damp, they have bugs, y'all. Oh, I just can't even imagine what's under there. So I am gonna use today to get the courage and the bravery to go get that bike. So we are gonna have a story from the Bible from Matthew, and it's about Peter and Jesus in the water, and you're not gonna believe like exactly what they're doing in the water. And we'll have some fun songs from lots of fun, friendly faces. We are going to do some crafts with more friendly faces, a super cool nature event with some more fun, friendly faces. Y'all, you're not gonna believe how many fun people we're gonna see and you've been getting to see all week long. So first I'm gonna turn it over to Miss Robin and her kids, and they're gonna tell us about a time they were brave that maybe can help me. And I'll see y'all back in a few minutes.
Mansfield, what does bravery mean to you, and then how do you see it in the Bible?
If I was David, I would fight Goliath, but I wouldn't go behind them, because then one of the soldiers might see you, then they would try to win the battle against you. But if you threw a stone right there, like David did to Goliath, then it would be knocked down.
Right, and then how do you see bravery in your life? What have you done that you feel like's been brave?
I've swum while my floaties, practicing swimming while my floaties in the ocean where I can touch. And riding my bike without training wheels. And
those are very brave things. Thank you.
And sleeping without a nightlight.
And sleeping without a nightlight. Very good.
Hi, I'm Naisha. Hi, I'm Judson. And we're from Haiti. We didn't speak English when we got here. So we had to be brave and trust Mom and Dad and trust God to lead the way.
And I'm Renee, I'm their mom, and we had many challenges in our journey to adopt Judson and Aisha. And there were many times where we just felt like it wasn't meant to be, or that we might have to give up. But we put our trust in God and bravely moved forward one day at a time, each step of the way. And I'm so thankful that we did.
Hey friends, I'm Adria. I miss being with you all in person, but I'm so glad that I get to be here virtually to share about a time that I had to be brave. About 3 years ago at soccer practice, I hurt my knee really badly, and I knew it was bad right away. After a few doctor's visits, we found out that I would have to have surgery. So about a month after hurting my knee, I was having surgery to fix it. Going into that month where I knew that I would need surgery, I was really scared. And I also knew that the year after I wouldn't be able to play soccer because I would have to get my strength back up before I could get back out on the field. But I decided to be brave because I knew that God was working in this time in my life. In that year, I was able to get more involved at church and in youth group and with other things that had always interested me, but I never really had time for because soccer took up so much time in my life. I'm so thankful that I chose to be brave and that I could see how God showed up in my life in that year. So remember, when you're scared, to always be brave, because God is going to do greater things through it.
Hey guys, just want to say I'm gonna miss you guys this year at summer camp. One of the things I could think of that times when I was first scared was speaking in a large group of people, and it took God's help through many years to help me to overcome that fear. And because of that, today I'm able to speak freely in front of a lot of people without getting nervous.
Hi Plan B campers, my name is Caroline and I would like to share a time with you when I needed to be brave. Last summer, I prayed a prayer for God to show me where He needed me to serve, and that prayer led me to a new job. Have you ever been called to something new before? Do you remember how you felt? Many times, new, unknown, unfamiliar things can feel scary, and that's exactly how I felt last summer. I was worried that I wasn't good enough or strong enough to do this new job that God needed me to do in the world. The good news is we can feel scared and still show up to the things that God is wanting us to do. Do you know how we can do that? We can do that because God promises to be with us everywhere we go. No matter how we're feeling, we're never alone. He is always there. A year later, that new job doesn't feel so scary anymore. God has been equipping me along the way with the skills that I need, and He's also given me a lot of supportive helpers when needed. Always make sure to look for the helpers. So we can face change and we can do new things because God is with us. So let's try some new things and be brave together. Have fun at camp.
Okay, gang, y'all, those were so many great examples of being brave that we just heard about. I think it's time for me to be brave. What do y'all think? Can I do it? This is the door to the crawl space. My heart is pumping. We're not even doing extra takes, y'all. This is the real deal, what we're seeing. And I've got my notes to help me remember. Y'all, God gives us so many examples in the Bible that we're going to talk about today and that you may already know about being brave. So in the Old Testament, God says, I will go with you. He tells us in Exodus, He'll go with us. And in Deuteronomy, He tells us He's holding us in His hands and His everlasting arms. And so He's always with us. In Psalms, He tells us that He gives strength to His people. In John, we learn not to be afraid. For in Philippians, we learn I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that scripture we're talking about all day today in Joshua, be strong and courageous. God is with you wherever you go. So I'm counting on God to be with me and my lamp as I go into the crawl space to get a bike for our neighbor so we can share it with a neighbor. Is the light on? Yes. Y'all, whew. All right, we get the lock off, put that down right here, open it up. It's a little rainy day, so extra critters could have scurried in here. Oh, it's right there, good, the bike's not far. Our videographer may need to get in here for me to see, so you can see how dark and scary it is in here. So, so we've got ladders and paint, all sorts of tools and stuff in here, but y'all don't see any critters yet. It smells a little bit like mustiness, but I think I've got it. I feel like God's right here holding my hand. I'm leaning on His everlasting arms. I've been getting the bike out. Oh, get me out of here. For our neighbor. So now, a pretty bike for a neighbor to use, and I overcame my fear and was brave, and God was with me. Yay!